not yet, my name is Lori Stone. I'm the state representative for the 13th House District. With redistricting, the new 13th looks like Hoover to Hayes, 8 mile to 14 mile, and then this 1 mile square from 11 mile to 12 mile, Van Dyke to Hoover. And into Detroit, south of 8 mile, we go Gratiot to City Airport down to 94. And so I'm enjoying this, but it's nice to invite in some of the newer residents who have not followed me along on this journey for my last 2 terms. So picking up new people during COVID. So I do a monthly community conversation to make sure residents are plugged in with what's happening in Lansing. And during COVID, we started doing them in the park as picnics in the park, and it's stuck. We've had great reception, and we're getting to add in with the new term, but we want to keep this going. Let me start by telling you a little bit about me. I was a teacher for 14 and a half years, and that was my reason for getting involved. When we received deep cuts to our education budgets, I knew our students and our schools needed a better advocate in Lansing, and it was something I was passionate about, and I've been working for since I've been elected. And in addition, I get to be a voice for our community and advocate for needs and policies on your behalf. I always give a preview. We have 2 more community conversations in the park. July 15th will be at Arthur Miller Park, just about 2 miles down. August 19th will be at Wishegan Park. It's our first picnic in the park in Detroit, and we're very excited about that. Happy Father's Day to any of fathers who are here celebrating with us, or father figures in our community. Coming up on Monday is Juneteenth, and I like to shout this out. Not only has it become a federal holiday, not only are we moving it towards a state holiday, but even as a teacher with a background in social studies and history, until about 6 years ago, I had never heard of Juneteenth. And for anyone this is new to, Juneteenth was when slavery officially ended, because the last slaves in Texas found out that the Civil War ended roughly 2 years afterwards. So, I mean, it tells you a lot. And we always are working towards being a more perfect union as a country. There's always things that are working idealistically and towards our values. And so we need to know what's happened before so that we continue to move forward. Warren will be holding its first annual Juneteenth celebration on Monday evening from 5 to 8 at the Civic Center at City Square. So they're going to have entertainment, speakers, food trucks. Come join the party. I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to take this opportunity when we're in district to introduce our constituents to our staff. So Devin, wave. I'd like to introduce you to Devin Dudley. Devin Dudley is our constituent director. He works hard in our office. He's new this year, and so he's learning Warren, but he works very hard. When you email the office, when you call the office, his is usually the first person that you interact with. And we want to let you know that we work for you. We take it seriously, and we will make sure that we address any issues you bring to us to the best of our ability. We have a legislative director who is also local. Dawn couldn't be here today, Dawn Jakubowski. She helps me as we move policy through. So whether it's working on the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, access to universal height adjustable changing tables. She's been with me since the start, almost 5 years ago. And someone else that you might see in the neighborhood or you might be talking to when you reach out for the 13th House District. We also bring on board anywhere from 1 to 4 interns on any given semester. So college students, volunteers, community members can get firsthand experience with the Capitol and understand how the process works. I taught Schoolhouse Rock, How a Bill Becomes a Law, and then I went to Lansing, and I learned a whole lot more. So it's really good to have community members who have firsthand experience on what that looks like, especially if it sets them on the path to their career in the Capitol, working on behalf of Michigan's residents. For anyone who is new to a community conversation, my teacher heart sets out ground rules about what a community conversation is and is not. Community conversations are my ability to provide regular updates of what your elected representation is working on in Lansing and locally. It's an opportunity for transparency and accountability. This is your opportunity to ask the questions. In the news, you get headlines, you get sound bites, and you might feel like you only have part of the information. And so hopefully when you open a conversation or ask a question, I can help fill in some of those blanks or direct you to some of the resources that are available to better understand what we're handling and what we're dealing with. It is an opportunity to ask questions, share your concerns, or ask for assistance. Sometimes being over the phone is too impersonal. Sometimes access to computer and internet is just not something that you have access to. And so being in district, person to person, is a great opportunity to make those asks for help. This is not a public debate. I will share my positions, and if you are taking a position and asking me, you are free to share why you believe it, but we don't do back and forth and who's right, who's wrong. And so this is expected to be a respectful and civil discourse. I have to have my lesson plans. So the second thing I like to tackle is what is a state representative. It surprised me the first time someone said, I can't bother you, you're too important. I said, we need to talk about what the job description is here, because I am your customer service agent for the state of Michigan. When you're having difficulty navigating a department or state government feels like bureaucracy, you reach out to our office and we're there to help. We help everyone. You don't have to tell me I voted for you. We don't ask who you vote for. We ask how can we help you. And just to clarify up front, this is not a campaign event. Sometimes people see me wearing multiple hats in the community and they're not sure where this is coming from. There are strict laws that govern campaigns in the community and what role, when you're an elected official, that looks like. So I want to be very clear up front that this is not a campaign event. I'm wearing my state representative hat. I'm here with amazing community resource partners. And so if you ask me a question that is campaign related, then I will redirect you to an appropriate time and location. But any questions you ask, there are no wrong questions. As your lawmaker, that's usually what state representatives are known as. We create policy, we serve on committees, we vote, and we help develop the budgets on how our tax dollars are spent. One representative represents roughly 90,000 community members. You can contact us via a phone call, email, attend a community conversation or a district event, or visit us at the Capitol. I thank you very much for the use of your office in the Capitol for 2 years. And please know that we are there working for you. Uh-oh. You all set, Nancy? As a state representative, a big part of my job is making sure the community knows what's happening, how we're working on your behalf. And I do that through community conversations, occasional mailings, e-newsletters. So if you want to know what's happening month to month, sign up, make sure you leave your email address. I do town halls when there's a hot topic issue, whether it was auto no fault, or I'm trying to think what else has been happening in the community that, some reps have done energy and So whenever those things come up, we'll do a round table or a town hall. You'll see me out and about in the community at events, visiting local businesses, learning about some of these community organizations. A big part of my job is connecting community members with resources. When I came to be elected, all you hear about are problems. And often, as I learned, there are already resources available, whether it's for seniors or for our young people, for people who are looking for a career, looking for a job, or repurposing for a next chapter. We have tons of resources. So it's about making sure you know where to look when you need them, but it's also bringing this back to your community when someone has a question that you can say, I know someone who can help you. Either direct them to me or directly to the resource if you remember, and we'll make sure we get them connected. I'm here to advocate for your needs as community members. And I get the privilege of providing recognitions like certificates, letters, congratulatory letters, legislative tributes. So if you have a milestone birthday, an anniversary, a significant community or business event, reach out to our office. We'd be happy to partner in recognizing them. I also will come and be a guest speaker for community events, local organizations, schools, scout groups, whether it's government or leadership or a specific topic. I'd be happy to use my experience to help with that. A lot of times people go, what are those legislators working on? I mean, they only work 90 days a year. This is ridiculous. Why do we even bother? I work Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays in Lansing, Mondays and Fridays, and often Saturdays and occasional Sundays are in district. So these are the opportunity that I can help out locally. Take meetings, answer constituent requests. I do virtual meetings and in person, tour district organizations and businesses. Those are just a small sampling of what this job entails. If you have further questions, please reach out. I usually talk for a long time, and I'm going to break it up because truly this summer is about connecting you with community resources, and we have worked throughout the year with these amazing resource partners, and so I want to raise them up. So is Jade, where did Jade go? Jade, come on up. So I like to invite them to give a 3 to 5 minute infomercial on what is your organization, how can you reach out to them, and then are there any programs that you might want to participate in over the summer. So come on up.
Okay. So today I'm here with Warren Centerline Prevention Coalition. If you're not familiar with us, we're a local coalition. We really focus on substance use prevention, primarily with our youth members. So most recently, Lori was at our roller rink substance-free event for parents and their children. So that was a great way to get information to parents about substances, any resources that I could provide at CARE of Southeastern Michigan, which is where I am employed. If you're not familiar with us, we're a substance use prevention nonprofit. We also provide recovery services, education courses for early intervention, so anything from vaping to tobacco, marijuana, and alcohol. So we've got a really exciting summer. We've got 3 leadership camps, both in Harper Woods, East Point, and Fraser throughout the summer, and then we've got Camp CARE, which is a 2-week summer event, and that's for any student preschool to high school that has a loved one who has substance use issues. So that's just a really good place for them to be kids again, really share those lived experiences and learn resiliency skills. So if you guys have any questions for me, either for the coalition or for CARE, I'm over at the table over there. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. And those camps, remind me, are free?
Free, yes, that's really important. It's Lunch and breakfast are provided. It's 8 to 3:30. So if you've got kids that you'd like to just really have them meet with other children their age, we've got middle school age camps. So, you know, there's something for everyone. It gives the parents a little break too. I know that's important in the summer when you really don't know what to do with them. So if you are interested in those camps, I've got some flyers and information for you all.
Yeah, stop it and say hi to Jade.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
Yeah. So one of the hats I wear is I'm a member of the local prevention coalition for Warren and Centerline. And so thank you. And Hal was one of the people who introduced me to CARE and what some of the resources were that they provide in the community. And so we bring together community leaders, parents, educators, faith groups to be a voice for our kids in education, prevention, and so if you would like information about those, check them out. Up next, is it Teresa from Disability Network? I'm sorry, Tracy. Disability Network is an amazing organization that I learned about right off of the bat, and they provide resources to help people be self-advocates, but they also bring together voices to be advocates for people with disabilities. So take it away.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming out on this beautiful day, and thank you for inviting us. I'm Tracy Comer-Scarcella, and I work for Disability Network Eastern Michigan. We provide services to Oakland and Macomb counties as well as 5 counties in the Thumb. We are a center for independent living, and we believe that all people should be included in their community, especially people with disabilities. So we offer a multitude of services that are typically at no cost to the individual to participate in being as independent as they want to be with the proper supports in place. It can be any type of disability. Often we don't think about ourselves as having a disability, right? My father-in-law now has a disability because he's losing his hearing and has a hearing aid. That counts as a disability. So my husband has ADHD. Pretty profound, actually. That counts as a disability, right? I myself have a joint disorder. That counts as a disability. So there's a multitude of disabilities out in our world, and we all belong in this community. So we do things like teach advocacy skills, peer support. The idea is that we have disabilities that work there, so we might know what you're going through. We also have transition services that's helping our youth transition from school to adult life, as well as helping individuals transition out of nursing homes and rehabilitation centers back into their community. We have information and referral. I like to call that kind of Google on steroids. Google will tell you where to call, we'll tell you who to ask for. We also offer independent living skills training. So if you need help learning a new skill or relearning a skill, we have options to provide that as well. One of our new programs is our REC-IT, Recreation, Education, and Community. Our REC-IT program is a wonderful program available to anybody. All you have to do is register for the event. We have inclusive kayaking, we have art classes, pottery classes, we have golf this year, we have pickleball, which I hear is all the rage, and tennis. We have archery, a multitude of events, and August 17th we'll actually be at Metro Beach to have a Diversability Day. It's free to anyone to come to in Macomb County or further if you'd like, to experience what some of those cool events and options are. The last thing that I'd like to add is that we are here for any age. I want to make sure I stress that. Doesn't matter if you're 3 months old, 33 years old, or 83 years old, there's probably something that we can provide for you. And, oh, I'm supposed to mention our loan closet. We also have a loan closet. So if someone experiences, like me, I'm a little klutzy, and I was in a boot for 14 weeks, and I needed a knee scooter. And my insurance, it was kind of expensive to get it. My work has them, and you loan them out. So we have things like walkers, commodes, wheelchairs, temporary ramps, all of those things that you can loan from our office. And if you have any questions or would like any swag or more information, I'm sitting right back there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tracy. They even have an off-roading program, and I heard that that was extremely popular. Got to get in early to sign up, but I was like, that's amazing.
Yes, it's dirt days, we call it.
Dirt days.
Oakland County. There's fishing, boating, all sorts of stuff.
Yep. And so I recently was invited over to Disability Network, and we were having some really productive conversations around public transit and how important access to public transit is for so many people in the community. Up next, I have Katie from the Area Agency on Aging. Come on up. For our senior silvering tsunami that is coming, there are resources.
Hello everyone, and thank you to the representative for having us here today to talk a little bit about my organization, which is the Area Agency on Aging 1B, or AAA 1B. We serve a 6-county region here in southeast Michigan, which is all of the Macomb County portion of the district. The Detroit portion of the district is served by the Detroit Area Agency on Aging, which offers really similar services, but I just did want to note, since the district crosses county lines, that there are 2 organizations that serve the district. So area agencies on aging exist all over the country. So things you're hearing me talk about, if you have loved ones somewhere else that need help, often really similar services and supports are available wherever they are. You just ask for your local area agency on aging. And we are charged by the Federal Older Americans Act and the State Older Michiganians Act to plan and coordinate services for older adults and family caregivers. So older adults to us means anyone over the age of 60, and we fund a wide variety of programs and services. So you may have heard of Meals on Wheels. That's all funded through area agencies on aging. We have in-home supportive services like the My Choice Medicaid Waiver Program. So someone that might qualify for care in a nursing home, we're able to keep them at home in their community receiving supports through the My Choice program. We have evidence-based health promotion classes that are offered in the community. So A Matter of Balance is a program to help prevent falls. There's PATH classes that are focused on different chronic conditions like managing diabetes. Lots of different programs out in the community. We have a resource center, which is basically a call center with trained experts that can help you get to the right place. So whether it's one of our programs and services or something else in the community, we can help you navigate options, find out information about housing. We have a program called My Ride 2, which helps you connect to transportation options in the community. So if I need to get from Warren to the VA downtown, what are my options if I need a wheelchair accessible vehicle? We can help you navigate all of that. We also help people sign up for Medicare. If you've ever done that, you know how complicated it is. And if you haven't done it yet, call us when it comes time, because there's a lot to do with Medicare and a lot to understand. And every year we help people sign up for their new prescription drug coverage plans. So we're, again, a nonprofit organization. We don't sell any Medicare products, but we're there to help you navigate the web of options out there. And really important to us is supporting family caregivers. So those who are providing care to older adults or loved ones in their home, we have resources and support for you too. So I'll read out our phone number really quick. It's 1-800-852-7795. You can also find us at aaa1b.org. And I'm right over here if you have any questions. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks.
And one thing, we said that a lot of these resources are free to the public. When you need them, go there. But I do want to point out that they're often funded in part in their budget by your state tax dollars. So when we're making these budget allocations, we're making sure that we are investing and reinvesting in organizations, mostly nonprofit organizations, that are invested and they have roots in the community. And when you come to us or when you come to them and let them know the resources you need, it helps them tailor the programming and their asks, their budget asks for what they need to grow it and improve it. So we want to make sure people that are plugged in and have support from these resources. We want them well utilized instead of underutilized, and make sure that you know that your tax dollars are going somewhere valuable to make a difference. Okay, so next up, our friends at Michigan Works. Evelyn, we want to come on up, and anyone else from the organization, if you want to speak, come join. We know that we have some of the lowest unemployment in the state's history, and this is a national issue, but we also know that we have a lot of young people who are eligible for jobs and positions. We know that we have a lot of people who are graduating and looking for what their career is. And then we also know that there are a lot of people at a lot of stages in their career, whether they're looking to open a new door, or they might be retiring from one position, but they're not ready to walk away from contributing in the community. So tell us a little bit about what Michigan Works does. Can we have her come up to the mic? Oh, come on up.
Okay, absolutely. I'm going to come up to the mic. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Representative Stone, for having us here. I am Evelyn Hubbard, as she mentioned, and my peers are here. Susan Ottoman over there, and Mike Drahan, and Sue Young. Did I get it correct? Awesome. And we are a part of the Macomb St. Clair Employment Training Agency, Michigan Work. What's so very interesting is when you talk about Michigan Work, a lot of people say you are the unemployment office. No, we are not, but we do partner with the unemployment office. So if you are collecting unemployment, then you are required to come into a Michigan Works facility and register for that. And the reason for that is so that we can help you navigate that process and also share with you all the programs that we have available for you. Our services are also at no cost to you. And until I started working there, I was not aware of all of the services that we offer in our facilities. We are a one-stop organization, and so we have programs for youth to help you with tutoring, to help you get your first job. We have programs for seniors. If you retired and decide that you want to come back and work for a little bit, we do have a program for that. We have a program to help you complete your education, to send you back to school. If you're transitioning to a new career, we can help you with that. If you have an associate degree and decide I want to go 2 more years, we do have funding available to help you through that, again, through the state and the program. So we have a lot of information. I could sit up here and talk or stand up here and talk forever, but we do have literature in the back that will tell you about our programs. One of the biggest things that I want to talk about, because my role in the agency is as a business account manager. So I work with employers and I help them market and network and to find individuals for their jobs. So we are Indeed, similar to Indeed, at no cost to you. And so I work with employers, I help market their position, I help refer individuals to them, and I also help if you hire someone that we recommend to you, or if you have an individual that you're interested in, then you can send them our way. We can see if they qualify for our program. It is an eligibility process that you have to go through, but we can also help you offset some of your onboarding costs. So it is just a wealth of things that we could do for you at no cost, and we hope that you'll stop by our table and pick up some information. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And can I shout out that we have like award-winning Michigan Works locally. They are routinely recognized for what they do, and so we have something to hang our hats on. Nancy, MSU Extension. So one of the first organizations I encountered was going to visit the Thompson Center, and I met Nancy, and she's been an amazing partner, community partner. I've learned so much about what MSU Extension has to offer in our community.
So I'm a financial and homeownership education instructor at Michigan State University Extension. I have 2 offices in the county. I have one in Warren at the Thompson Center, and I have one at the Verculen office, because most of the people I work with face-to-face in the office are facing some kind of financial impact. So to have someone from Warren have to find a way, because maybe they don't drive, to the Verculen building, or someone from the north end having to get down to Warren. So Mondays and Fridays I'm in Verculen. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday I'm at the Thompson Community Center. So I wear quite a few hats in there, in that group. I teach homebuyer education class. If someone is interested in getting a mortgage for the first time, and they want the state has a down payment assistance program for first-time home buyers. The definition of a first-time home buyer is someone who has not owned a home in 3 years. So I've owned homes in the past, but I haven't owned one in quite a few years now, so I would be a first-time home buyer. So that's part of the requirement. You have to work with a MSHDA-approved lender. We also do a lot of webinars that are related to financial topics. Just to give you an idea, I didn't list all of them. These are free, they're on Zoom, and we offer a different variety we schedule them by the quarter. So I do have schedules here, well, I have samples. They haven't come out with the next quarter schedule yet. They're working on it. But we have things like make a spending plan work for you, mortgage foreclosure basics. So if you own a home and you are concerned you might be at risk for foreclosure, there's a webinar you can take. We offer different classes on protecting your credit, financial preparedness for disasters. I don't want you to raise your hand, but how many people are financially prepared if there was a major disaster? Would you be able to make it through with the finances you have, with the money you have, with whatever you're able to do? We offer webinars for real beginners. How much home can you afford? Savvy tips for starting a small business, even. We teach a class on retirement, myths and facts, protecting your identity. And if you ever go to the FTC website, you can see how bad identity theft is. So we teach a class on things to look for. It's a webinar, 1 hour. Things to look for, what you should watch out for, how to protect yourself from getting your identity stolen. And this is one of my favorites, I love the title of it, is Who Gets Grandma's Yellow Pie Plate? And that's actually talking about who decides who gets what when someone passes, right? So, and then I also do one-on-one counseling. So I'll do one-on-one home buyer counseling if you need the help with meeting your goals to be able to become that home buyer. I do it for people who just need money management help. We look at tools, tricks, what you can do to spend your money differently. How can you work on your credit, setting up a plan to pay down debt, and that kind of thing. And then also, and right now, the biggest thing we have going on is the state received funds from the federal government for people who were financially impacted by COVID. So if you're a homeowner and you were financially impacted, and financial impact is described as either you had a loss of income or a decrease in income, or because we use both. If we have both issues, we list both in the application. If you had an increase in expenses because of COVID, So inflation doesn't count, but if you were having to buy masks, hand sanitizer, bleach, Lysol, whatever things, that increased your expenses, right? Another example, I had a grandma come in. She was struggling because of the impact from COVID, and her issue was the school's closed, daughter was still working, so grandma had 2 kids every day, all day. They were home being online schooling, right? So her electric bill went up because computers were plugged in 6 to 8 hours a day. Her food bill went up because she had 2 more mouths to feed. So there's all kinds of, let's put it this way, I know exactly how to ask you the questions to find out if you had an impact by COVID. So, and I think to date, I know I've done well over 100 applications. And just the other day I was checking on how much money was granted to people in Macomb County that I had helped. I didn't get through checking all of 22. I think I made it to, I think I, like the first, so it started in the middle of February of 22. And I think I hit September in my check. And they had given out $69,000 in homeowner assistance just for the people I helped. So that doesn't count all the people in Macomb County that applied on their own. So, so we do that, kind of help take some of the stress of the process off of it for you. And of course, like I said, that's free. So if you know of anybody or if you are struggling, I did bring the My Half application intake package, and for mortgages and for property taxes, because they're different documents that are required. So
Thank you, Nancy.
I think that kind of sums up what I do.
That just scratches the surface.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. The thriftiest, best budgeter that I have ever met. And she does make that process of having to navigate some of those government paperwork, it's so much easier when you have someone who can walk you through that process. And I do want to point out that Michigan received a lot in federal funding. And we're starting to hear talk at the congressional level that they want to claw back the funds that haven't been spent yet. So number one, if there's a reason or a need for the funding, we need to make sure that that is being sought after, applied for, and that we're not sending that back. We want them to know that the allocations were important and that they were utilized. On a typical community conversation, I would delve more into what's happening in Lansing, but because we really want to create time and space with our community partners, I will stay here and have conversations about any topics that you want to have. But if you want to take this time to refill your plate, we also have some carry-out containers. I cannot take all this food home. Do not let anyone go home hungry. Devin, will you, once you're done, will you pull up the containers that people can make plates? What else? So community partners, Q&A. Oh, next community picnic in the park is at Arthur Miller Park. That's 13.5 miles between Shaner and Hayes. And that will be Saturday, July 15th at 11 a.m. We're doing this all over again. Olive Garden is again very generously providing food for us. Thank you. These are community members who, when they heard that we were doing this, they came to us and they offered to support all 3 picnics. So we're so appreciative. Reminder, shout out, June, we're celebrating Pride Month. Michigan continues to move forward. We signed expanded civil rights protections in the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. And so we want people across this country, we know that there's a lot going on, but we want people to know that when they're in Michigan, it doesn't matter who you are, that you have, you're included and that you're valued. And so I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. I'm going to pull up a seat here.